Hi everyone, and welcome to the very first season of Who's Coming Next. I'm so glad you're here because today I get to introduce someone whose work I've admired for a long time, and honestly whose ideas have changed the way I see what it means to be human. Our next podcast guest is Roman Krznaric, a philosopher, a writer, the founder of the world's first empathy museum. His work has shaped how we understand empathy, not as a soft concept, but as a powerful force for personal and social change. So you might wonder, why empathy matters now? You've probably heard me talk about skills of the future before, and if there's one skill that will always remain at the heart of being human, that is empathy. Roman's book Empathy, Why It Matters and How to Get It, which is here with me right this moment, makes us a bold claim that empathy isn't just a nice-to-have character, a nice-to-have behavior. It's also essential if we want to build a kinder, more resilient society. Let's see why this is a personal message to me and why I've decided to invite Roman to be our guest, the next guest on the show. So when I first read the book, one line stopped me in my tracks. It says, "Human affection may be more critical for survival than food and shelter." Now it would be good to find out if that's the same thing that you guys resonate with. But Roman draws to me here in his book a line of Dr. John Bowlby, who showed that a child's early relationship with his mother, especially during the first year of his life, shapes emotional and mental health for decades to come for him. That's when we start learning to read facial expressions, to regulate our feelings and to connect. It's empathy on its rarest, earliest form. And since the turn of the millennium, neuroscience has joined the conversation, revealing just how wired for empathy we really are. Roman writes about mirror neurons discovered in the 1990s. This is the idea that we can grasp another person's mind not through reasoning, but through direct simulation. Now, how fascinating is that? Think about that yawn reaction when somebody yawns and you can't help but to do it too. That's empathy firing full swing in the brain. Now let's talk a little bit about the idea that Roman had to develop the Empathy Museum, first of its kind in the world. He founded the Empathy Museum where visitors literally walk in someone else's shoes, listening to the life stories of refugees, change makers, and even prisoners serving life sentences. It's a space where stories become footsteps, and footsteps become understanding. Now, another element that is highly emphasized in the book is the power of conversation. More so, it's the crisis of conversation we're living in. Back in 2012, there were around 10 trillion messages sent globally. But how many truly touched people or changed how they saw the world? Today, that number has exploded. It's closer to 150 trillion messages a year. Yet we seek less and connect less deeply than ever. Roman sees conversations as the doorway to empathy, and I couldn't agree more. So here is where you come in. Before the recording, I'd love to hear from you. What would you ask Roman if you had the chance? Drop your questions in the comments and I'll bring some of them into the interview. As a thank you note for being part of the live announcement, I'll be running a small giveaway. One of you will win a copy of Roman's book, The Empathy, Why It Matters and How to Get It. I'll announce the winner after the episode drops. I can't wait to share this conversation with you. I truly believe it'll be one of those episodes that stays with you. Because in the age of AI, automations and algorithm, empathy might be just the one most underrated superpower. It's the thread that keeps us human. Tune in when we have the conversation with Roman soon.